start from the issues, from the agenda of citizens, I think, and build from there. I don't believe in big reflections on democratic systems and how they operate and how the organization could be different. I think that will lead to nowhere or just a long discussion. One thing that is interesting that that we have on the national level kind of advisory boards and the VRR, the scientific advisory board, is going to the ROB, that's focusing on the what's the English word for it? Just the way our government is organized, is focusing just on this topic on e-democracy and e-participation the next year. So maybe they will find some suggestions for us to change things in positive effect. Yeah.
Niels Elgaard, IT Political Association of Denmark. Our experience is it's not, and we are probably like Holland, it's not very hard actually it's not very hard actually to interact and talk with politicians. We like to talk and get input and all that. But it's the hard struggles that's the problem when you have a powerful opponents. When you talk about software patents, the new extension of copyright, in Holland you have this invasion of privacy, like your new travel GPS-based systems and that kind of things. And that's when the politician just can't say yes to you because they have some obligations or lobbyists on the other side. And that's where it gets hard, but just to talk to politicians and have them listen to you is easy.
I had some trouble understanding what you said. I'm sorry. Maybe we can talk afterwards then. Is that okay? Sorry.
In 2006, the Actio Popularis law was abolished in the Netherlands, and this contradicts your initiative. I mean, your initiative is very nice, but why the abolishment of the Actio Popularis? And I would like to say that last week, Ad van Rooij is a famous environmental lawyer. His room was raided by the police, by 10 policemen, and pictures were taken of his bedroom, and he hasn't. The only thing he did was filing law cases against the production of CCA wood and the environmental pollution by the Amercentrale with burning that wood. So everything I've seen until now is guaranteed by so much action of the police. So I thought, well, this is worthwhile for the newspapers in the Netherlands. So I wrote a letter to all the newspapers, and that they didn't react. And then I thought, well, the only thing I can do is write a letter to the Chinese government that the Dutch government doesn't have a right to say something about human rights. And the Chinese television and radio station immediately reacted. So that's the only thing I could think of.
Before the web, when citizens wanted to talk to government, they organized themselves in social, cultural, sports organization, labor organization, what we call in Dutch middenveld, and which was also practical for government because they had one point of contact when they wanted feedback on policies. Now, do you see a role for these traditional intermediaries in the digital world as well? Could they organize the digital dialogue? Have you seen successful examples of this? So, for example, when it comes to privacy, citizens might be more inclined to give their data to these intermediaries and not directly to government.
I really know. It's an interesting issue. I really don't, well, the way, the extent to which citizens can organize themselves, that's your question in relation to privacy issue. The sound is really, very, very sorry, but...
Last question from the floor.
Okay, this may be a bit pessimistic, but... Your view on the subject to bridge, yeah? In my opinion, the basic need for the government is to control and regulate. Now, the citizens you speak of want exactly the opposite of that. How do you propose to bridge that?
How do I propose to bridge the gap?
With such a difference in opinion. I mean, there is distrust, yes, but exactly because of that, in my opinion. How do you propose to bridge such a wide gap when the views are opposite to each other?
Well, that's interesting. I didn't say that it was easy to do, to bridge, especially when you have different views and opinions, for example. But I only want to say that I don't think it is a good situation if you have a lot of communities bonded. They have almost the same opinion, the same view on things. That talks quite easy with each other, of course. You just confirm each other's view on reality. But there are a lot of other perspectives and views. And just I want to say, try to bridge with those. It is, of course, it is difficult and almost unnatural to do. But maybe another organization feels responsible to organize this bridging between these organizations. You can organize it in several ways, but it's true, it's not natural to do it themselves, but I just want to make a plea from try to do it, but not only with citizen initiatives, but also with initiatives from governments. And bridging, I think, will help the dynamics grow, and to join forces would be good to do, I think. Also for just little broaden up the perspective on things. But it is difficult, yeah.
In closing, and with a thank you, I'd like to say that it's very easy to be standing in the citizen's shoes and be critical of government for not engendering trust. But it takes a special sort of person inside government who will stand up and say, hey, this is happening and it's not a good thing and we should change it, and who will front up to a gathering like this and be willing to ask hard questions and answer them in difficult ways and hear what people have to say. And sometimes those rare people cop lots of flack from the organizations they're in, so they're kind of having to fighting fires on two fronts, outside and inside. So I would like you to please put your hand together and give a very special thank you to Arnout for coming today. The next talk that's on in here is Tempest for the Casual Election Hacker by Andreas... No? Oh, it's changed. I lie. Who is...
This one. The Bits of Freedom.
Oh, right, sorry. Appropriately, the next section on here, very appropriately, is the relaunch of Bits of Freedom by Ott van Dalen. So please stay for that.